in fiscal policies. Well, look, folks, I know Halloween's coming this Friday, but John McCain dresses the agent of change. That costume does not fit. It will not sell. It will not sell. Look, I know we're not running against President Bush, but we are running against the very economic policies that John McCain is promising to continue, and they are Bush policies. Ladies and gentlemen, let me focus on one of them, just one. Health care. How many of you get your health care through your employer? Raise your hand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is a fact. Under John McCain's health care plan, for the first time in history, that benefit would be taxed as income. Now John McCain resurrected an old failed Bush idea of taxing your health care benefits as if it's income. And the first thing that will cause, the studies show, is over 20 million people will be dropped from their employer-based health care coverage because the expense comes so high for the employer. But don't worry, John says, and Sarah McCain, John McCain and Sarah Palin, well, they think alike. John McCain and Sarah Palin, they say they're going to make it up for you. If you're single, they're going to give you a $2,500 tax credit, $5,000 for family, to go out in the private market and buy your own health insurance. The problem is, you're going to get a check for $5 grand to replace a policy, the average cost of which is $12,000. Now, folks, that's what I call the ultimate bridge to nowhere. And just this morning, we had a refreshing bit of straight talk from John McCain's top economic advisor about John's health care plan. He said, younger workers won't want to leave their company-sponsored plans because, quote, what they're getting from their employer is way better than they can get with the credit we're going to give them. Ladies and gentlemen, well, it's surprising. A bit of truth come out of the campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, they want to take the one part of the healthcare system that's not broke and break it. Folks, they've broken everything else over the last 8 years. And I heard today, riding on the bus, that got CNN on, and John McCain and Sarah Palin were doing an interview. And John turned to Governor Palin and said, we're mavericks. And she said, yeah, we're mavericks. The two of us are mavericks. I love that, don't you? I love that maverick deal. Well, you know what? You shouldn't laugh, but it's amazing. Look, I got a very Bill and I have a very good friend, a new senator, 2 years ago from Pennsylvania named Bob Casey. And Bob's from Scranton, was the town I was born in. And Bob, to paraphrase Bob Casey, here's what he said. He said, you can't call yourself a maverick when all you've been the last 8 years is a sidekick. I call them the sidekicks, not the mavericks. Ladies and gentlemen, if you give Barack and I the honor of serving as, my wife's going to correct me, Barack and me. My wife's an English teacher. And I promise you I'll get a phone call. If you give Barack and me the honor of serving as your president and vice president, here's what we're going to do. We can say it straight up, straightforward, and very simple. We're going to devote every waking hour, every bit of the energy, day and night, in our administration to two overarching goals. And it's very straightforward and simple, and there's no malarkey about it. One is our entire economic program is designed to restore the middle class, to grow the nation. The second, and equally important for my grandchildren and children, is to reclaim America's respect in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the first step in reclaiming that leadership is to end this war in Iraq. responsibly by laying out a timeline to draw down American forces, hand over responsibility to the 400,000 Iraqis we've trained. And guess what, folks? Guess what? President Bush is now negotiating